As desperate Americans and Afghan civilians attempt to evacuate the country following the takeover of the Taliban, Erik Prince, the notorious Blackwater founder, has jumped in to try to not help, but to help himself. Because, of course. Now, Prince, according to a recent Wall Street Journal report, is currently charging people $6,500 for a spot aboard his chartered plane out of Kabul. So he's got planes, and he says, well, I mean, you know, you can get out of Afghanistan, we'll even help you, but it's going to cost you. Well, that's just what we need. Another war criminal mercenary capitalizing on tragedy, which is, and of course, essentially to do what is, I think, essentially human smuggling. They're going to smuggle these people out of the country, essentially. I mean, how is that all that much different from what the coyotes are getting paid for to bring people across the border to America and getting people out of a terrible situation? Maybe, I don't know, prioritization. Oh, well, if you can pay, then we'll get you out. And no doubt that there's a lot of problems getting people out of Afghanistan. I mean, the administration, of course, is doing what they can with a terrible, shitty situation, a situation that, unfortunately, they did not plan for, did not plan very well. And if you want to cast some blame on that as well, that is totally fair. Again, a terrible situation. But here you have somebody coming in and saying, oh, no, I've got resources. I can come and get people out, but I have to make a profit. Great. So now, of course, the question is, what happens if you can't pay, can't afford it? Well, then you're likely dead. Again, the Taliban, what they've been doing in recent days has been they have been targeting journalists, activists, and their families, setting up checkpoints and beating people who try to escape Kabul. And now they're telling mainly Afghans, oh, no, we don't want you to go. Oh, what's the matter? I thought everybody wanted to live under your stupid rules, under your Sharia law. I thought it was great. Well, if it's so great, why doesn't everybody want to escape? Turns out maybe it's not so good. And people hate you and don't want to live under your shit rules, your fundamentalism. But anyway, they're going after, like I said, they're going after people who the new government might not approve of. And, thanks to our mistakes, they have the biometric data for people who helped the United States. So, fantastic. Great. So now, those people will absolutely not survive unless they get out. And so this sick fucker comes in and he says, oh, well, I can save you, your money or your life. I can get you out, though. It's disgusting. There's bad people all around. Obviously, the Taliban is horrible for what they're doing, and so is this guy for going in and trying to make money off the entire situation. Again, disgusting, right? And I wasn't going to bring up this point earlier because this is somebody that I don't really care for. But you know who's been chartering flights out of Afghanistan for free? Hillary fucking Clinton. Thanks a lot, Erik Prince. You made me say something positive about Hillary Clinton. I will never forgive you. This is personal now. Fucking personal. Hate it. And the thing is, we don't know about it. We didn't know about it until someone else brought it up. She didn't bring it up. She's not talking about this. She's just been quietly doing this to get people out of Afghanistan. Well, that's good. I mean, that's good. I can't really criticize that. And I don't want to, because it's actually the right thing to do, unlike what Erik Prince is freaking doing. Disgusting person. Disgusting. Bad people. All right. There's more. As Mother Jones noted, Prince's plans come amid a broader effort by aid organizations to rescue as many people as possible as the U.S. struggles to process visas and evacuate both Americans still in the country and tens of thousands of Afghans who worked from the U.S. government over the past 20 years of war. As the journal notes, most of these campaigns are driven by genuine empathy for Afghan friends and colleagues desperate to escape the Taliban's imminent takeover. Yeah, Again, that's just what I mentioned. There's a lot of different groups that are chartering planes to get people out of there, and they're not charging people $6,500 a head for them to go. However, Prince's attempt to turn this into a profitable venture, of course, fits into his machinations to privatize every little bit to squeeze as much profit out of these wars as possible. These forever wars, which, by the way, he was a part of back in not only Afghanistan, of course, but also in Iraq. But understand, this is what Erik Prince has always done. At one point during the Trump administration, Steve Bannon, back when he was chief of staff, those were weird days. Also, the former brother of former Trump Education Secretary Betsy DeVos came up with a plan to replace U.S. troops in Afghanistan with Blackwater mercenaries. Blackwater mercenaries. Well, of course, they had to change their name after those same mercenaries killed 17 innocent civilians in Iraq and did war crimes, to which he did not get in trouble for. And I think that's insane. He should be in prison for that. But thankfully, that privatization did not happen, and that is good. But in 2017, Prince also proposed plundering Helmand province of approximately $1 trillion worth of lithium, uranium, phosphorus, and other rare elements. Those rare elements that, by the way, you have mainstream media, CNN, talking about, and all the capitalists that are sitting there, drooling over like, oh my God, why can't we just go back into war so we can plunder them? We want to plunder that booty. Well, they do. They do, and they were really open about that. Not only that, but Prince had also overseen during the Trump administration operations to spy on Trump enemies in the government, and faced accusations of breaking arms embargoes in Somalia and in Libya, and has denied allegations of setting up a back-channel communications line with the Russian government. And so understand, like, Erik Prince, gross person, terrible human being, always happy to profit off war and tragedy, and is a true bottom feeder, and another reason of many that we need to absolutely tear down the entire military-industrial complex. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.